Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Craft with me. I'm Megan, the Ulster Blue travel editor and your guide to the lockdown craft world. Thank you so much for all of your lovely kind comments on last week's video. I'm really glad you enjoyed it and that you really got into some of the crafting. Special shout out to Tom who sent me these lovely photos of his finished origami bookmarks. If you partake in any of the crafts, including this videos, do just send me a message. I'm at Megan Lee on Facebook and maybe you'll get a feature as well. Wouldn't that be exciting? This week we're going to be working on some friendship bracelets. I was really inspired by my primary school obsession with Scooby-Doos, if anyone remembers those. So this week we're going to be bringing you a slightly more grown-up, simplified version of the friendship bracelet. I think these are really fun to send to friends to remind them that you still exist during lockdown. Okay, let's get on with it. Okay, the equipment for this week's craft is again very simple. All you're going to need is 3 pieces of thread. I'm using wool, all of different colours here, but you can equally use embroidery floss. If you're feeling ambitious, maybe you could try ribbons, anything that's going to braid together nicely. I'm using 3 different colours just so you can see clearly what I'm doing, but you can use 2 colours of the same if you wanted to. Whatever takes your fancy. So I would say that this wants to be at least 30 centimetres long and at most your arm span, because you're going to be tightening it, and if you can't reach the ends because you made it longer than your arm span, then that's going to be a bit of a problem. So step 1, cut 3 nice pieces of thread. The next thing you want to do is, holding them together, you want to tie the whole thing in half. You need to leave a good length at the end to tie around whatever you're going to be securing it to. I'm using the leg of a chair here. So there we go, nice and simple, just knot it round and then double knot it. There we go. And then secure it onto whatever you're using to keep your thread in place. You can see here that I've got my 3 loops tied securely around a nice solid base. You're going to be tugging on these loops a little bit, so you really want to make sure that it's secured to something nice and strong. Usually when I'm doing this craft I would sit on the floor and just tie this around the leg of a piece of furniture, just because I find that that's a nice solid base. There's basically one move to this craft and it can be a little tricky to pick up at first, but once you've mastered that, you've basically got the whole thing down. So I'm going to do my best to take you through that nice and slowly and clearly so that you can pick it up and then get going on your own. We want to start with the 3 loops of thread on 3 of our fingers. So on one hand, you want the loop around your index finger, and on the other hand, 1 loop on your index finger and 1 loop on your middle finger. The trick to this is to remember that the thread should always be as high up on your fingers as possible, and that'll make a bit more sense in a minute. So here is the integral move to this craft. On the hand where your middle finger is free and there's nothing on it, you take that middle finger, slide it through the loop on your other hand on your middle finger so that it goes inside, and then bring it over the top of the loop on your index finger. Catch that loop, pull it through and tighten. All right, so you may be thinking, what happened there? I'm going to do my best to take you through it again a few times so that it becomes clear. Remember, you always want the loops of thread as high up in your hand as possible, so move this one that's now on your middle finger onto your index finger, always leaving 1 middle finger on your hand free. Take that middle finger, slide it next to the middle finger on your other hand, through that loop, up and over the loop on the other hand, catch that and pull it through, then tighten. move to your index finger. So middle finger is free. It comes next to and through the loop on your other hand on the middle finger, over the loop on your index finger, catch it there and pull it through. One more time this way around. Switch to your index finger, take your middle finger, slide it through the loop on the middle finger of your other hand, and then push it over the loop on the index finger of your other hand, catch that and pull it through. And then all you're going to do is to keep repeating that move. I'll show it to you from a few different angles so that if you're still a little bit confused, you can see what I'm doing in 360 degrees. Here we have it from above. So middle finger is free. Slide it through the loop on your opposite hand middle finger and over the top loop and pull through. Switch. Through the middle loop, over the top loop. Switch. Through the middle, over the top. Each time you want to give it a little tug just to tighten the loop you've just made. I'm hoping that you can see at the top here that we're starting to get the pattern forming. I really like this pattern. I think it's just really nice and simple. It's a bit more exciting than your standard friendship bracelets because it's got that nice geometric flow, and if you look on the cross section, which is kind of difficult to show you, it makes a triangular shape, which I think is really pretty. So I'm just going to show you from one more angle and then hopefully you'll have the hang of it. So we're taking middle finger through the middle loop, over the top, give it a tug and a tighten. Through the middle, over the top, tighten, switch. Through the middle, over the top, and switch. I'm just going to complete this one for you. Okay, so once you've finished off your braid, it's a pretty easy end. You just take what you've made with a little bit left extra on the end here and tie it round in a simple knot to secure it in place. There we go. Then snip it off your table, like so. And there you have it, a really simple, but I think really striking and effective friendship bracelet ready to send to somebody. We'll leave it there, but if there's anything I know about Oxford students, it's that we are a bunch of chronic overachievers. So I'm going to show you how to take this craft to the next level by adding 2 more loops of thread. So this time I've got 5 different colours of thread. I would recommend if you're actually doing this for a gift or just to wear that you don't use 5 different colours because they can start to clash a bit. I think it's really nice if you do at least a couple of the pieces of thread in the same colour, which again makes it more accessible for those who don't have tons of different colours of yarn around their house. We're going to start off in the same way as we did last time, just by folding in half, tying a knot at the top and then securing it to the base. Alrighty, so this time you want on one hand to take the loops onto your index and middle finger, and on the other hand onto your index, middle and ring fingers. As you can see, this time the topmost finger that is free is going to be one of your ring fingers. The technique stays pretty much the same from last time, the only alteration being that we've now got this finger free, and instead of going through one loop, we're going to go through 2. So you take your ring finger, you push it through the loop on the ring finger of your other hand, through the loop of the middle finger on your other hand, and then catch again over the top the loop that's on your index finger, pull through and tighten. Then switch up onto the top 2 fingers, leaving again a ring finger free. So you go through the loop on the ring finger, through the loop on the middle finger, and up and over to catch the loop on your index finger. I'm hoping you can see by now that this is essentially the same technique that we used last time, just adding in another 2 loops. So again, switch through the ring finger loop, through the middle finger loop, over the index finger loop, catch it, pull it through and tighten. Switch, through the ring finger, through the middle finger, over the index finger, catch it, pull it through and tighten. And here we are again from above. So taking your free ring finger, we go through the ring, through the middle, up and over the index, catch it and pull it on through. Through the ring, through the middle, over the index, catch it, pull it through and give it a good tug each time to tighten it. While we're here, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I chose this craft today. Firstly, I really like the historical influence. This craft is properly called finger loop braiding and is evidenced from at least the 13th century in Europe. There is also a Japanese version of this craft, but I'm really sticking to the European influenced styles. I really like doing crafts that do have a bit of that historical influence. I think it's really nice to come a bit closer to your ancestors, especially as a sort of, feminist understanding of history, where women did express their own power through industries that they were most skilled in, like textile craft like this. Another slightly less deep reason that I chose this is because I think it's really nice to be able to personalise your crafts. Obviously, we've done a 3-loop braid and this is a 5-loop one, so you can use a whole variety of different colours. I think that makes it a really nice gift because you can personalise it to whoever you're sending it to. So maybe you could do a friendship bracelet in the colours of someone's home country flag, or a pride flag that's really personal or relevant to them. So that makes it, something that you can show that you put a bit of thought into, a little bit of effort, while it's still being quite a simple craft that you can complete fairly quickly. I'm still going on this one just because I want to show you how to do it. Once you've got to the point where your fingers basically don't fit through the loops anymore, you know that it's probably time to finish off your bracelet. So, once again, you just tie it into a nice, simple knot on the open end. And then we take our trusty pair of scissors and cut it off at the table end. You might want to neaten this one up because it can tend to look a little bit scuzzy at the highest end, just because before you start braiding the loops are a little bit tangled up, so you can see that the pattern doesn't really start till here. If you want to do that, all you need to do is to undo the knot you've got here. If I can manage it, that would be good. There we go. And just retie it a bit lower down where the pattern starts, so that it'll be nice and neat. As you can see, the ones I've created are quite short. That's pretty much just for demonstration purposes, so that you can see it nice and easily and it doesn't take me 3 years to finish. But if you wanted to do a longer one, that's actually not going to take you 3 years, promise. And then you can tie it around your wrist as a nice little bracelet. There we go. And there you have it. I really hope you enjoyed this instalment of the Craft With Me with Megan Lee video series. And do remember to send me any crafts that you complete, or maybe requests for a different kind of craft tutorial. Just give me some feedback. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!